Je m'attendais pas du tout. I wasn't expecting that. Bon.
He's been waiting at the door.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go.
stalking me. Yeah, but you know, the tourists are good for us.
Bah ouais, man.
Ouais.
I remember the first time I was working in hardware.
Ouais.
I had thought, oh my god, it's a really fucking touristic place.
It is.
How am I going to handle all these tourists? And actually, not so many tourists
We
came. It's not the bad tourists
At the
that.
beginning, yeah.
Ouais. At the very beginning, my
At the
god.
beginning, I remember we would like mainly French, a lot
Ouais.
of French.
It was locals.
Now we do a lot more tourists, but it's still not everybody, which is kind of nice. We get good tourists.
Yes, we get bad tourists in other shops.
Yeah.
I will not say anything, but you know what I mean, my
You
man?
know, it's just some people are better at hospitality,
Ouais.
better being a customer than other people.
Well, we are not. I think French are not very, how can I say, very good at being hospitable.
I don't think so.
To welcome
I think
people?
To welcome people, maybe, but there's more of a traditional style of French service, which
You know
is a
the
little
French,
bit
The French server.
so
You know the French
standoffish.
server. Ouais, bonjour.
Yeah.
Alors, commandez? Ouais, café? Ouais, super.
After 10 minutes.
Ouais, after 10
you sit
minutes.
down for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and you know, like,
Madame, next time I'm gonna get him.
but now it's changing. I see this change even in the time I've been here. Service is becoming more friendly, becoming more personal, and it's less like, café. Okay.
It's almost like they are doing you a service.
It's getting better.
So what, have you seen this neighborhood change a little or not that much?
A little, not much.
Not much, right?
Much. It
It's the
pretty
same,
much
right?
is the same.
Yeah, all the tourists and
busier. The tourists are a lot busier now. I think in the last 2 years it's been insane after
Yeah.
COVID.
it's been like it's like skyrocketed.
Yeah. Paris is the most visited city on earth.
Well, yeah.
Tourist-wise, people love this
Yeah.
city. I love living here. I've been here for almost 8 years.
8 years.
And I planned on coming for 1 year. When I came here, I was putting my stuff in a shed. I was like, I'll be back in a year and a half. Left my
the
car. My dad looked after my car for me. No problem, 2 years, 4 years. COVID happened. Another 2 years.
And then this guy.
this guy, oh my God.
Ouais.
No, it's
Plan, huh?
yeah.
So it was a bit of a surprise. You didn't plan this too much.
No.
No.
Because I was their head chef when we opened Hardware in Melbourne.
Wow.
And then I was around the other restaurant, Bowery to Williamsburg.
So he basically just told you like.
No, they were like, we're
Like,
friends.
yeah.
We're friends, and they were like, hey, we're gonna open a restaurant in Paris. You wanna come?
I said, hell yeah.
I was like, okay.
Sometimes I always say to people that ask me if I like Paris or not, that I say that it's a story of hate and love.
Exactement.
Like sometimes I love
say
it
the
and
same
sometimes
thing
I
as
hate
well.
it.
All
And
the
if I
time.
hate it very much.
We have Paris and me. We have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I first wanted to have you as you are the first guest of the Cramé podcast.
Ouais.
Yes.
Ouais.
For many reasons. First of all, you are one of the guys that teach me the most beautiful thing on the earth of service.
What is this?
No, seriously, yes.
Service?
Yes.
You learn service here?
I learned service here, my man.
My God.
I
Was
was.
he a good waiter?
Yeah.
Be honest, be honest.
Yes.
It's,
Look at the personality.
Ouais.
One of the things that I love, and I explain this to everybody that works here, one of the most important things I believe in front of house is your personality.
All right.
Taking a plate to a customer, taking an order, putting it in a machine is not a hard job.
No.
Let's be honest. It's not a difficult job,
but it takes a certain type of intelligence. Some people are just magic. Some people takes a little while, but
Are you saying that Mark was magic?
I took a little while.
but one of the things is that personality excuses a lot.
Yeah.
You can
Well,
like you can be do a job that's not amazing,
Yeah.
but because of who you are, people
Yeah.
are like, don't worry about it, it's fine, we love you.
Yeah.
It's okay, you
Okay.
you made a
We'll wait
mistake.
for 30 extra minutes for
Exactly. Stuff like
Yeah.
that. People aren't, we all carry bias.
Yeah.
And people we like, we are more forgiving with than people we don't like or people we know. Say when I know your name and I know something about you, we had a little rapport, we had a little thing,
Yeah.
you're going to be far more forgiving with me than some sort of personality-less robot.
Yes. And if
You
I
know?
don't know anything about you.
Exactly. And that is simple.
Yeah.
You want to make an experience. And it's not just the food, the coffee, the service. If people walk away going, that guy, he was cool. That Mark guy, the guy that made my cappuccino, we love this guy.
Yes.
He's
Look at the
he's
glasses and the
awesome.
face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My man, for people that don't know, I was one of the first barista
Yes.
in
Yeah,
Hardware
so-
Société, Paris,
Yep.
2017 or
Yeah.
16.
16.
16?
Yeah.
So when was it open?
So 2016, we opened in April
And you opened
2016.
with Mark.
Yes.
Okay.
So we opened with Mark, and we opened with Mark and Mark McKinney, but we quickly realized that we didn't need 3 baristas. And then Pierre got another job opportunity. He actually moved out of Paris. So Pierre left, and it was just the 2 Marks. And when we got here, when we started, there was Mark and Mark. And we were like, okay, so what are we going to do here? And Mark's like, call me Marco.
Right.
So now, forever, everybody calls Mark Mark, but for me,
Marco.
he's Marco.
There's Marco.
He'll
right.
always be Marco.
It was funny because
Beautiful story.
it was the beginning of the brunch
Explosion.
in Paris.
Right.
The explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the brunch,
With the brunch.
Ouais.
Yeah.
We'll ta- we-
Yeah,
I
the-
have some questions about that.
Ouais.
But, yeah.
and yes, just to.
To make a web.
Well, it was quite a funny story. I saw the ad, Australian venue coming from Melbourne. So I checked the Instagram page and I saw the French guy called the artist or l'artiste,
Oh,
the French latte art guy, and I was
Oh.
thinking like, my God, they're never gonna hire me because I'm
You're shit
I'm
at
okay.
that.
I'm latte art. I'm doing latte art, but I'm not super professional and stuff like this.
This is very
trying
ironic
to remember
because
his
now you're-
name. He was great.
He was great, right?
He gave me a piece of advice. I was at Hardware, and I used to come into Hardware because by that time, this was, I worked at Hardware at the beginning. But I used to, every now and again, like there's people on holidays and the guys would go, hey, do you want to work 2 weeks? Come work in the kitchen for 2 weeks. And I remember I worked there for a week or so before we came. And he said to me, he goes, just remember this. Nobody in France says sacré bleu. He said, this
That's
is
true, I don't
this
know
is
why
from
Australians and
this-
Americans and
exactly.
people, they think that-
it's because it's from Tintin, from Tonton, and
oui,
it's
What's the name of the
it's
character?
Tonton.
No, but the,
Oh,
the guy
Captain,
Haddock
yeah, Captain Haddock,
that would say
and he would say that, and then he would say, that's from Belgium. Tintin is not French. Tintin is not. He's from
right,
Belgium, which is
that.
true.
Tintin is a bit of an asshole, actually. He's a bit of a
Yeah.
racist guy. So.
Yeah. So if you read the comics,
Yeah.
now with the Disney movie, wow, that's so nice. Yay!
When you were young, you were working as a barista.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
super.
we didn't
different.
call it. We
Yeah.
didn't even use the word barista.
Yeah.
This is like when I was 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old, and I used to work on a Saturday afternoon, like from about 11:30 till about 3 o'clock.
What city was it?
This is in Melbourne.
Still in
And
Melbourne.
yeah, and my mum, I grew up in this industry. My mum was a waitress when I was a kid, and I grew up in this. She used to work at this Italian restaurant near my house called Quintino's.
Quintino.
Quintino's.
Wow.
And the guy was really nice, Angelo, his name was, and he was a lovely guy. He used to pay, and my brother would be the kitchen hand, and I would be in the bar, and I'd be making coffee. And back then, it was not like it is now. It's, it was the grinder that you flick, and then you get your finger and then press it as hard as you can. And then, as much force as you can. And
with the twisting motion.
with
Do you have that, the tac tac tac, you with the temper?
With the
you
temper,
knock
you
the...
would
No, we
the
don't.
side of
Yeah, tap it to release the puck.
Yeah.
Why? So the water can get around it. I don't get it.
Nice.
Exactly.
That would be the best way.
There's this and you can see in my lifetime how far coffee has come.
Yeah.
This was unheard of, and this is when we only had. This is like when you made like basically 3-4 coffees: flat white, cappuccino, long black, allongé, and espresso, which we mainly call a short black.
Because you import coffee from is it from Melbourne?
This is
Market Lane.
Market Lane, the Marimbus blend.
Yes.
From Melbourne.
It's Melbourne. Okay, it's Melbourne based.
Yeah,
company.
absolutely. It's a beautiful company, and they have a whole R&D department. They put a lot of research and development into coffee. This Marimbus comes from one grower in Brazil, and they work directly with the grower, and so the grower talks to them about picking times, the weather. They work together to pick at the right time.
It's a specialty.
It is
coffee,
absolutely.
style.
They put so much work into this and other blends as well, and they tend to want to work directly with farmers.
Yeah.
They're a green bean supplier, as well as a roasted coffee supplier as well.
So it's just Brazil coffee.
This is just Brazilian. This is from one.
I thought it was a blend of multiple origins.
So blends became a big thing in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why blends became such a big thing in Australia generally is because Australia, it's changing now, but Australia used to be a big milk coffee country. Yeah. We would sell far more flat whites, cappuccinos and lattes than any other coffee. Most people would be having milk in their coffee. And the problem arises when you have single origins. Some work really well with milk and some don't. Like, a washed Ethiopian or an does not.
Yeah.
It does not deal well with the acidity, doesn't taste good with milk. So then you came across, then this was also when Robusta was still a thing.
Exactly.
Nobody
I was
used
about
this.
to say maybe that's because of what they knew about Italian people with the Robusta and the blends, the Italian blends that they used to do. And
Exactly.
The Italian blends, yes.
Yes,
Right.
and this was where it came from, the Italian blends, putting the Robusta in because it's cheap, and then using some Arabica to create a little bit of magic, and it sort of became there, and we kind of went with that, and that was just the way we did it. And Robusta started to fade out, but we kept doing blends with Arabica because we'd go, okay, so we put this, say a Colombian or a Brazilian in, and we're getting great, simple, chocolatey flavors, caramel, basic, beautiful. But it's how do we get that to pop? How do we get it to define it from every other blend? So we go, okay, we can put a little bit of Indian or a little bit of Ethiopian in, and a little bit there,
Fancy.
and we up the cherry flavors, we up the fruity, the acidity a little bit, but we can't use straight Ethiopian, for instance, because
now it's kind of a trend to use single origin.
Absolutely.
In Scandinavian coffee. You see, for instance, Ayo. Ayo, they use La Cabra coffee, and when you drink the milk drink, it's like a raspberry marmalade. Some people love that, but myself, I don't drink that much of milk beverage coffee. But when I do, I want something that tastes like Naples. Sorry, Italy, like something really.
But this
nutty,
is
chocolatey.
He wants you burn the. No, I'm not. I'm kidding.
Dude, I asked our barista Carla to make Italian cappuccino. She does the fuck my life face. She does that, but then it's really nice and it's creamy. The milk has no shape at all.
But do you like the taste, or do you like?
I like the
what
taste.
it reminds you in your head?
The taste because
Yeah.
The taste, really.
because I just drank straight dark black coffee because with Bialetti the mocha pot or espresso I never had any milk in my coffee when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was a kid I was drinking coffee and it's funny how it changes from country to country. And
Right.
now that you have in hardware, you have so this is only for your milk beverage.
Yes.
And I know that you use French roasters
Yeah.
in.
So
your...
we use quite a lot of different roasters.
So how do you do to choose? Do they come to your?
I think
They knock on your door and say, "Please."
to some
Please.
degree they do.
me.
People
Here's the
do.
sample.
People do want to sell their coffee, and as it's a burgeoning coffee is becoming a burgeoning market here.
Uh-huh.
The coffee culture has really, in the 8 years I've been here, stepped up a lot. There are so many much better coffee here. I mean, people still constantly complain to me. They're like, we've been here for 3 weeks in France and I can't get a good coffee.
Paris.
But at the
Hear
same
voice
time,
of Americans.
a lot of Australians do it as well.
Yeah.
Come here. But at the same time, did you do any research?
Yeah.
Because if
cool.
you've done some research about where to go for a good coffee, there are so many places. It is
Yes.
coming along a lot.
Yes.
And now, because of that, there's also now a lot of people roasting coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, well, and I think it's kind of at a point now where there is more roasters than high-end coffee
there is,
companies. And so there's a lot of people wanting to sell their product. And there's a lot of people going, this is an opportunity, there's a growing market. But I think the coffee roasting is growing faster than the coffee culture can catch up.
Yeah, maybe.
But it will change. Coffee culture will increase, and then you'll have the ability to sell a lot for these growers. These roasters to sell a lot more coffee.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And this is not suitable for, I think, for a high volume coffee shop. Or
No, it's
something
it's
like
it is. It's one of those
so
things that
maybe this would work for somebody that's selling like the full experience, like Substance, for example, or
or
something like
clove.
this. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think like for high volume espresso that it's
No, and when you're doing high volume, because you can't weigh every single shot.
Yeah.
You can't watch every single
It
extraction.
drove you crazy, huh? In hardware.
It takes you to
Someone I won't name.
it slows it down a little bit too much. Realistically, as much as I'm very passionate, and many baristas are really passionate about coffee, and many customers are really passionate about coffee. It's only, if you're lucky, 10% of the customers are passionate enough to actually taste those minute differences that we pick up. Well, not even me. My palate is not as great as it used to be, but and I don't taste enough coffee anymore because I don't drink coffee as much as I miss it so much.
I do miss it, though.
Yeah, I love coffee. I love the smell.
I feel the pain of
I love the
want
taste.
Decaffeinated.
No, it's not this. It's
Alright.
it's a
Alright.
hollow version. There's it's the oils. It's the oils in the coffee that
Yeah,
carry
I know
the
what you
majority,
mean.
the
I know what you
fragrance and everything.
I know what you mean.
So
Cool.
sad.
As I was saying, I had my CAP pâtisserie. You were saying that it's really romanticized. Is that the correct way to
Oh, pastry.
say? Ouais, pastry
Yeah.
is romanticized.
Oh
And
my god, it
my
is
experience-
so romanticized.
And I was that guy, that asshole that thought that it would be fun because you know what? You know why I chose to.
You'd be the famous chocolatier,
Yeah, man.
Marco
Yeah, because
Corangelo.
I knew how to make
Chocolatier.
chocolate cake.
I want to see Mark in this.
I was like a 15-year-old boy.
I want to see the pictures. You gotta send me.
I have pictures.
You
of,
gotta send me the pictures.
And Barbara was doing Barbara was doing kitchen. She was doing really great, really okay. Just to let you know, I was hired at the same restaurant that she was.
Is this where you
Yeah.
met?
No, we met in London.
Okay.
But she said, okay, Mark, there is a pastry position called chef de partie. So chef de partie is quite a big thing.
Yeah.
I had 4 months of classes, basically. So I started from nothing. And then I just knew how to make pâte à choux, which is
Yeah.
which is cheap. And then she just said, the guy offered me a job, and I was totally lost. I didn't know what was prep.
Yeah.
I didn't have any
Mise
concept
en
of
place.
mise en place. I thought you came in and you just started to work like
just
as a
Somebody
civil
said
service.
chocolate cake, and you went,
Chocolate
"I
cake and
make the sugar cake." La 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 la,
Voilà. And,
like the Swedish
voilà.
chef in the Muppets.
Ouais.
You know,
And-
do it.
It was.
That's it.
Oh, it's
Voilà.
really romanticized.
Well, you know, I've got a head chef, I've got a barista, I've got a floor manager.
You don't need
You know,
to do this anymore.
These guys take care of these jobs really well. And so it's really good. And, you know, you want to delegate responsibility to people because it's good. People want to feel needed, wanted, and
Yeah, it's
They
good
want-
to delegate, mate.
it's delegation. And it's not
It's
just
part of
because
the
it's
job, huh?
Yeah.
you can't do everything yourself, but you
Sure.
want to trust other people
Yeah.
because people are good at what they do. Many people, you give them the trust, they run with it, they love it. The sense of pride, the sense of I was part of that. I had some responsibility in that creation or in that thing that happened, and people loved it. And you need to give that to everybody. That's part of creating a good work atmosphere.
Oh, my man. Okay, thank you very much, Jasper. Bisous. Merci, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.